Okay, so now that we're actually inside of our email, we're going to go ahead and try to compose an email first. So the first thing you're going to do is come over here on the left where you can see my arrow pointing to, and I'm going to click compose. A bubble's going to pop up for a new message. I'm going to expand it so that you can see it here. And I'm going to start by putting who my email is to. And because I'm your teacher and this is a Freistadt account, you're going to be able to see my email pop up pretty much immediately. But just in case, my email is lschmidt@trinityfreistadt.com, and I'll put that on the screen too so you can see it a little bit bigger. So I clicked who my email is addressed to. Next, it's time to type in my subject. Now, this is a pretty important one. For the subject, make sure that you're never typing in a message. I've received a ton of email like this, and I just want to make sure that we're clear. I shouldn't be writing my full body message in there. So I shouldn't be putting like, Miss Schmidt, hi, how are you? I am doing okay. I have a question. That should never, ever, ever, ever go into your subject line. Your subject line should be about 1 to 5 words. 5 is really pushing it. You really don't need that many words in it. So for today, I'm just going to have you do yours as practice because we're just practicing how to write an email to our teacher. Next, you're going to come actually into the text portion of your email. I'm going to write, good morning, Miss Schmidt. When I have good morning, I'm going to put a comma and then my Miss Schmidt and another comma. That's called an interjection. And so we're going to make sure that when we're interjecting with a name, that we're going to put a comma in between it. Now you could put anything. You don't even have to put my name. You can just put good morning, comma, good afternoon, comma, good evening, comma. You can also do, hi, Miss Schmidt. That's just fine. Usually we try to stay away from like hi or hey. Another way that you can address your teacher is just Miss Schmidt, just period. That's the name. Next, we're going to put in our message, and we'll keep our message simple today. I am practicing writing an email. Now, you can always do a 1-sentence message. That is just fine. While you're practicing this before you send it to me, please feel free. I'd love to hear how you're doing. You can tell me about how the last 3 weeks have been. Please feel free to write me a message. I'll definitely respond. You can put anything in there to tell me about what you've been eating, what you've been watching on TV, and all that stuff. So anyhow, I've got my message down. Now I'm going to click return twice again, and I'm going to put in some kind of exit. So my way that I always sign email is grace and peace and a comma, but you can do something totally different. Another good thing to write would be respectfully, comma. You can also put in warm regards, comma. You could also put your student, comma. God's blessings is a way that a lot of people sign theirs. God's blessings, comma. Thank you, comma. And then you're going to write in your name. Now, we're going to talk about this little portion because I have a signature line. And when we looked at Lucky's email last week, we saw that he had a subject line or a signature as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send this first, and then we're going to talk about signature. So right down here, this blue button is going to be where I'm going to click send. Before you ever send an email, there are 3 rules of thumb I use. First of all, if I'm upset when I'm reading my email, I don't send it. I don't send it quite yet because I usually, if I'm upset as I'm writing something, I've got a question, something's on my mind, I wait a little bit of time and then read it maybe in a couple hours and see, does this message come across as upset, frustrated? How can I fix that, but still get my feelings across? Second thing that I always do is a spell check. I read through my email probably 3 to 4 times before I send it. Every time I send it quickly without reading through it, there's always an error in it. I guarantee it happens to me when I just rush. So make sure you're not rushing. Read through it a couple of times. And then the last thing that I always check before I send it off is, who did I address in it? Did I accidentally put in a different name? Is everybody who's on this email, are they supposed to be on this email? So I always double check before I send something. Hey, am I making sure that it's going to the right people? So all of those things are in order. So I'm going to go ahead down to the blue button, click send, and you'll see I sent it to myself, so it's just popping up right here. I'm going to click on it again, and I'm going to show you on the side here, this is how we're going to reply. Now, if there are multiple people on the email, it's going to give you the option of reply all. Before you reply all, always make sure that you need to reply all. If everybody listed on the message does not need to hear back from you, do not click reply all. Okay, so for example, if Dr. Seefeld sent me an email and he sent it to the entire staff and I got the message, I should never reply all, got it, thank you, because all of those people on the email don't need that response. It's just kind of a time waster for them. So I just kind of address whether it's necessary for me to email them back or not and who should be on that email. Okay, now let's move into signature. I'm going to go back to my inbox and I'm going to go ahead up here, over here to settings. And if you just leave your cursor over it, it'll pop up and say settings. Then I'm going to click settings again. And once it's done loading, you're going to have all of these different options. So first of all, phone numbers and all that stuff, do not put any personal information into this. We're going to scroll down until you can see over here my picture and signature. For your picture, I would ask parent permission first before you attach a picture to your email. Just every time we're dealing with internet safety, we want to make sure that it's a good idea to have our picture attached to something with our name on it. My picture is on there because I have permission to do that. It's safe for me to do that. Now we're going to move into the signature. We looked at Lucky's signature last week, and we're just going to look at mine real quick. I use my full name, and then I put down my position. For your position, you'd be a student. Then I put my email and my phone number on there. And then there's this section where you can see Trinity's email address and their actual address too. Do not fill in your address on your email. Do not do that. I'm an adult and it's my place of work. Absolutely never put your actual address of where you live on your signature line. Then at the bottom, you can see there's our motto or our mission statement is right there. Passion for learning, a heart for Christ. You can do the very same thing. Or I know Lucky chose a quote that was really important to him about learning. That's an excellent thing to do. And then I have Trinity's logo over here. You can always do that too. So as we're practicing this, go ahead and play around with it as much as you want. If you email me and I see something that might need to be changed safety-wise or even grammatically on your signature line, I'll go ahead and shoot you an email back so that you can fix it or change it. But feel free to kind of play around with it. You want to keep it pretty professional. One of the things that Lucky did was he put class of 2023, and I thought that was an awesome touch too. So now I'm going to go back to my inbox, and there is an email waiting for me that is going to be a Google form that I want you to try to fill out right now too. So first of all, I'm going to trash my email that I just did with you. Here it says podcast research proposal. I'm going to click on that. Then I'm going to click on the link inside of it. And here is where you're going to give me the information about your podcast. So it says complete the following questions before you begin drafting your script for your podcast. So I'm going to put my name in here. Make sure you include a name, because if you don't, then I can't give you credit for your homework, and I want to make sure I do that. What is your social justice topic for your podcast? And I'm just going to use the example of the environment. That'll be my topic. What is the main question you will be answering in your podcast? Let me think. A question about the environment. Does limiting, garbage help the planet? What's the title of your podcast? Maybe I'll title it Green City, or I'll title it something having to do with the environment. Then what are some key ideas or points that you would like to make in your podcast? This is where I might type in key information or research or statistics about recycling and how recycling might help our earth. Then it says, have you begun to read about your topic? This is like, there's no right or wrong answer. I just am curious if you've started or not. So I have not started reading about my topic yet, so I'm going to click no. Then it's going to ask what structure or format you're going to be using. You have to choose one. You can't choose more than one. If you want to do an extra project because you're a little bit bored at home or you need something to do, that's great. But you want to do one topic, one format. So if you want to do 2 of these projects, more power to you. You're totally welcome to do that, but you need to choose one format for one topic. So let's see. I think I am going to reteach a lesson about helping the environment and how we can limit the amount of garbage that we're putting out there. Now, once I'm all done, I'm going to come down to the bottom and I'm just going to click to submit it. And it's going to submit my form to me, and my homework's all turned in then. If you have any questions about this, just let me know, but this is your homework for tonight. I hope you're having a great day. Take care. Bye.